Good morning. Welcome to Pluck, Pull, and Play. Right. I can never get those three P's together. I thought it was such a cool idea to make it an alliteration, and as it stands, it's kind of more work than I expected. Anyway, when we do our Polar card, we've created this awesome deck, and inside of it are words that have to do with everyday life. And basically, the idea is that we pull one, and then you have a chance to think about this aspect of your life through the lens of power. I'm Sam Parado, by the way. I'm the creator of Power Play. And also, I want you to know that at the end of this video, if you actually last that long or you want to fast forward, I'm going to talk a little bit about the play part of this. We're kind of bringing that on slowly. And so today I'm just going to talk about how you take a conversation or a set of ideas and turn it into play and why that matters. All right. So without further ado, let's go. All right. Let's see what I pull. And I kind of go until my intuition tells me to stop or a card kind of sticks out, right? So let's see. Ooh, we have romance. Wow, that's an awesome card for us to talk about with power. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you are actually trying to cause the romance, and the next thing you know, you're in a power dynamic? I think that happens a lot because really the desire for romance or the desire to make something special or feel extra delightful turns into a battle of wills. That's the thing about power in relationship is that you can't sort out the will, right? The agenda, the core motivations, the things that make you actually want to create something. And so there's this in relationship, it's like you serve it up. You say, hey, I think this would be really cool. I'd like to have more date nights, or I'd like to have a sense that the world isn't just, what you actually see, the chair, the table, the bagel for breakfast. And when you go to serve that up, the next thing you know is that you're actually now bringing an element of, right, of kind of I want to say force, but that's probably too big a word. But you end up bringing an element of kind of like a push, a shove. And so I just find that power work in general, especially in relationship, requires you just to be so aware of what the elements are that are actually behind the thing you say you want. And I don't know as people that we really like breaking it all down. I think we'd like to simplify it and have it kind of roll out in one box and say, here it is, I want more romance. But I don't really think that's how we actually create a more romance. And the other thing I want to say is I'm talking about it from the person that wants to create it, but there's also the person that doesn't think it's needed, doesn't really think it helps, wants things to be as base true as possible. Because let's face it, romance is a feeling. Romance has a quality of, although there's actions that go with it for sure, it has this place where it makes the ethereal aspect of being human come together, and it makes it come together between two people or three people or whoever it is that you're trying to create this sense of romance. You can tell I relate to it as kind of dreamy. Everybody has their own definition of it. So in the context of power, here's what I'll leave you with. Get really clear on what you're doing with it in the context of when you're trying to create romance or participating in a romantic relationship. And recognize that your will is inside of whatever you think is a good idea, and that their will is also going to respond to whatever that might be. There's also the last piece is to really look at where it's coming from in the heart. And is it, in fact, uh, a way to create it that is not contrived, but that you actually set it in motion and then allow it to flame, right? You give it oxygen, give it a little air, give it a little time, but actually create it with the person that you're doing it with. Okay, so that finishes that. The next part I actually wanted to just talk to you about was the idea of play. And we do quilling And so I just want to show you that if you took everything I just said and you thought about it and you said, how does this fit with my life? So I'm going to cut a small piece of paper right here. You can get a piece of paper and a set of scissors. And you can buy quilling kits for $10. They're not that expensive. But let's just say that from what I just said, what I want to remember out of this is I want to remember that romance isn't only what I will it to be. Okay. So long time ago, was happening. It's funny, we got romance because I used to read a lot of romance books. So anyway, in one of them, the way the heroine would process is she would write, I don't remember the book either or the author, but she would write her process words inside of a piece of paper like this. And then she would roll it up. I'm going to just show you, right? I'm just rolling it up. It's just you just using your fingertips here. I took a piece of paper, I just cut it, right? And she would roll it and then she would turn it into these beautiful designs. I have found quilling to be a really cool way to put your words down, the thing that you want to actually put, and that it, in fact, is hidden. And so then, if we were really creating a quilling project, I would glue the bottom of this. And what's really cool about this is that when you quill, your circle can get bigger, right? And of course, whenever you see circles, we see growth. Like growth is so symbolically defined in a circle because you're going inward and inward and inward and inward. And so for these pluck, pull, and play videos, what I would like you to do is just start doing one of these a day or one of these a week whenever you watch a video. So right now, take a moment, think about whatever showed up in your head when I was talking about romance and power, and cut a piece of paper or rip it. You can also fold it and then take it down the side, the edge of a desk, and put it on this piece of paper, and then put a little spot over it and start building these up. They're kind of like a thought, right? A thought a day, a way to connect to the self, a way to go inside, and a way to rewire. If you only take the direct route to your power, generally the ego has a lot to say about that. But when you take a play route to your power, then you have other aspects of the psyche that come to help.